What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Train, as usual. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Today, we're going to talk about the Lynx, past and present. But before we do that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Comment, tell anyone about the show. Trying to get the ratings up a little bit, just a little bit. But like I said, we're going to talk about the Lynx WNBA shot, past and present. And you might be wondering, well, Trey, why you got on the Chicago Sky jersey? Well, it's because they actually have helped create their future. So with that, we got you covered. We got you covered. That helps you out here. But we're gonna stop hemming and hawing. We're gonna go right to the thing. The history. Look at the draft history, ladies and gentlemen. You can see we've got wonderful selections. Candace Wiggins out of Stanford. She was a hooper. You see Renee Montgomery. Now she's on the Atlanta Dream. Not a player, but a part owner. I'm just saying she was the first one to do it too. Shout out Renee. Here's the thing. Ooh, Rashonda McCants. All right, her and Rashad got a similar name, of course, last name, but that is his sister. Funny enough, she did go to UNC too. Anyways, though, Monica Wright, they drafted pretty decently. Okay, y'all see this? No, y'all see this though. Like Maya Moore, ladies and gentlemen, there was not a better duo than Maya Moore and Sylvia Fowles. Now you might be wondering, well, where is Sylvia Fowles actually right here? Like, I don't see her name. That's true. Because they actually didn't draft her. That's right. They drafted Maya Moore. Okay. They traded for Sylvia Fowles. The Lynx traded for Sylvia Fowles. And there's about a 3-year age gap between Maya Moore and Sylvia Fowles. So why do I mention and harp and kind of get a little emphatic on that trade? Because this is why, ladies and gentlemen, and I need y'all to really pay attention to this. And there's no disrespect to a couple players that's about to get mentioned, but like, it's levels to this, okay? So the fact that the Lynx were able to make this trade to acquire, like, Sylvia Fowles is disgusting work. But not just that, it's what was received by the Atlanta Dream, by the Chicago Sky. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not really the biggest fan of these acquisitions. And again, when you look at this in totality, right? The the Atlanta Dream. Dog, this is what they got. They acquired Erica De Souza, which mind you, Erica was cool. Erica could hoop. She was a good defender. And I understand slightly the logic by the Sky. But when you're acquiring or losing an asset such as Sylvia Fowles, you got to get back a lot more in return. And they really just got back Erica. Like, that was it. That was it. Now, the Atlanta Dream, because it was a 3-team trade, right? The Atlanta Dream at least got Dantas, or Demiris Dantas, which keep in mind, the Lynx ended up getting her back 2 years after they traded her. Then they got Rashonda Gray, who was gone, I think, the next season, waived, and then she was out the league in 2022. Then we got to talk about the 2015-16 pick, which was Bria Holmes. She played for them 2 seasons, then was out for maternity leave, then gone. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lynx acquired a all WNBA caliber player who helped bring them 2 championships. Depoy caliber, like leading rebounder in the WNBA's history. That's what they got. And I understand Sylvia Fowles sat out, right? I hear you. You don't you don't just get Erica De Souza and that's it. I'm sorry. But the Lynx, they acquired Sylvia Fowles. And that bred arguably the best duo in WNBA history. I said arguably. You could talk about it. You could talk about it. Now, in terms of the Sky, very disappointed. And I ain't have a Lynx jersey yet, so I'm very disappointed in myself too. Dang, I wish I had, because these girls was hoopers. I remember seeing them in the WNBA finals against my Sparks. We won that season, but we also lost the series, if I'm not mistaken. So they were hoopers. Why do I harp on them so much? Well, because right now, ladies and gentlemen, the Minnesota Lynx actually have a possibility in doing something phenomenal this season and going forward. When I think about it, we have here. Matter of fact, let me pull up the draft history one more time just so that I can show y'all. Because they drafted well, right? But they traded for Sylvia Fowles. Now, we're at this 2025 marker. But 2019 is when they drafted Nafisa Collier. Now, if we put up Nafisa Collier stats, obviously, you know, she's a hooper, right? Like, she is her. Her is she. Who should they pair Nafisa Collier with? Because the Lynx are actually in a very interesting situation right now. They currently have the Chicago Sky's draft pick. And over the last 2 years, the Chicago Sky have been the third worst team in the WNBA. Now, that's record-wise. Currently, they're third. So that means the Lynx could get a number one pick. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about the future of the Lynx. Should the Lynx look to trade for somebody to pair with Nafisa Collier? Or should they look to actually get a draft pick for Nafisa to lead? Because I think she could actually do both, to be honest with you. Let's keep in mind, for example, we got a player like Brittney Griner, who is on a 1-year deal with the Atlanta Dream, funny enough, right? What happens if BG decides, hey, I want to leave the Atlanta Dream? Keep in mind, Breonna Jones is playing well on the Atlanta Dream. So they could afford to lose BG and replace BG. If the Lynx acquired BG, that could be monumental. And again, you don't have to do but so much to acquire her outside of just make your team look like she may want to go there. It needs to be appealing, which they were just in the finals. They were in the Commissioner Cup. They could win the finals this year. Seems quite appealing. It does. What happens, though, if they get someone like Arike Ogunbowale? You may have to trade for Arike. But I think the Dallas Wings might be willing to make that move, pair Paige with somebody potential for the future. In the meantime, you now have Arike and Nafisa Collier. I have gripes about Arike's efficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no more efficient player than Nafisa Collier in the WNBA right now. So what if we get Arike Ogunbowale, who is a bucket, who is a star, who is still a point guard, who can defend a little bit too. She's scrappy. You pair her on this Lynx squad. See, I was thinking big woman, but again, BG can come there next season. Maybe we should focus on the guard, which I hear you. They have Courtney Williams. I've always said Courtney can play off guard too, though. They have Kayla McBride as well, too. Okay, so maybe we can play Courtney off the bench. She was just an all-star, though, Trey. Like, Arike won't. Well, Arike's been more of an all-star than Courtney has. Also, bringing Courtney off the bench with Natisha Heideman, I think that could be pretty smooth. And I'm not saying she's bench player, bench worthy. I'm saying she could be 6th woman of the year because that's what I've always valued Courtney Williams as. This is the future that I'm talking about for the Lynx. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, they are contenders right now, point in time. But we're talking about if they should trade for stars, and they have the ability to do so. If they don't, though, they could get someone like a Lauren Betts. Like, imagine Lauren Betts. On the that could be a little interesting. How about Olivia Miles? Like, Lauren Betts is 6'7", ladies and gentlemen, with a little touch. I just gotta see, is she just height, or is she what she's been advertised to be? Olivia Miles, all-around bucket getter. She could actually get you a triple-double, believe it or not. Here's my thing, though. She's had the injury history, so I do want to see how she bounces back. I think she's good, though. And I've always liked her game since she was a freshman in college. So, again, actually a senior in high school, really. So I like Olivia Miles. How about AZ Fudd? Because, hey, her and Kayla McBride could work well. Pair that with Nafisa Collier. Maybe McBride can run the one, or Courtney can keep at the 1, too. I like that option. Or maybe they want to go all with fam. I'm just saying, it depends on where they land ultimately. Because again, the Chicago Sky, they could vault up a little bit more. I think they missed the playoffs, but they could go up because hey, they have the talent to do so. But they could also slip a little bit too, because again, they working with their youth right now. So the Lynx are in a good situation. End of day. But ladies and gentlemen, who would y'all want to see Nafisa Collier paired with? A young gun like a Lauren Betts, like an Olivia Miles, AZ Fudd, Flau'jae Johnson. Should we look for the future, or should we look for the right now, the present? And also, damn, when I think about it, bro, how close were they to getting Maya Moore and Nafisa Collier? Imagine that duo. That might have been like Jordan and Pippen. Oh my God. And they would have had two hers. Oh man, yeah, I'm happy. I'm so happy Maya retired. Like, I'm not from a basketball standpoint, but as a Sparks fan, I think I am happy. Give everybody else a chance. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we got to look forward to for the Lynx and the future. And again, we've seen them do well. Like, she was almost paired with Nafisa Collier, bruh. She was almost paired with Nafisa Collier. That could have been the greatest duo in NBA history. And I know I just said it about them two potentially. That could have been the greatest duo in WNBA's history. Argue with your mama. But, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I got to know. One, are y'all as flabbergasted as I am that the Lynx acquired Sylvia Fowles the way they did? Bro, they are like the best organization by far. And like we talk about OKC Thunder. No. The Lynx are really doing it. That is just trash. Are y'all as baffled as that as I was? And then two, who should the Lynx look to try to get for Nafisa Collier to pair with? She got a good squad, don't get me wrong. And I love Kayla McBride. I'm talking about additional resources, ladies and gentlemen, because we could be looking for the future or we can be looking to dominate right now. And they have the actual resources to do so. So would y'all look forward to seeing her paired with an Arike Ogunbowale and possibly Brittney Griner next year? Or would you rather see her get paired with Lauren Betts and add her to the squad, or Olivia Miles and add her to the squad and build up for the future? I want to hear y'all thoughts below. But ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude the end of the episode, I think. So I greatly appreciate y'all for listening. Thank you all. And until next time. But please make sure to, one, support the WNBA, but two, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone who's anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you all are having a good one. Take care.